All right, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, before we get started, I just want to make sure that your birth information is correct. So you are born May 2nd, 1972 at 6:02 p.m. in San Leandro, California. Awesome. Um, I just want to remind you that this experience is recorded, so there is no note taking that you need to do now. You can do that later. What I suggest you really doing is keeping your eyes on the body graph and really just following along with what I'm saying. All right, there is a lot of stuff just happening in front of you. There's a large image and there's two columns of numbers. You'll notice that some of those numbers on the left are red and some of them are black on the right. Well, at the top of that list, you'll notice that it is named personality on the right side, on top of the black numbers. These list of numbers are actually characteristics that do define you. You are aware of them, and they are actually the location of the planets when you're born, the moment you're born. Now, over on the red side, over on the left side, you'll see at the top of the column of the list there's the word design. Now, these are also characteristics that do describe you. They are unconscious, though, so you are unaware of them. You might even try to fight them, but they are you. So these list of characteristics, they are where the planets were located about 89 days before you're born. All right, so what's pretty cool about these two columns of numbers is that they make their way inside that large image in the center there. That large image in the center there, the body graph, you'll notice that there's a bunch of lines and a bunch of shapes going on. What I want you to do is to focus on those shapes. Those shapes, you'll notice that there's a bunch of ones that are colored in and some that are not colored in. All right, so the ones that are colored in, those are called definition or defined. And what that means for you, Dwayne, is that this is consistent energy for you, reliable energy for you. Now, the white stuff in your chart, it means that it's undefined or open, and this means that it's inconsistent or unreliable access to this energy for you. Okay, so I want you to focus on the red square in the center there. That red square is called the sacral. That sacral is where your open and enveloping aura comes from. And you are here to use your energy every single day. You're here to work. You're designed to use your energy efficiently, productively, and when you're using your energy correctly, you are going to have this sense of satisfaction. But when you're trying to force your energy or trying to initiate what you think should happen, you're going to feel this sense of frustration. Well, you're not just any old manifesting generator. You are the only one like you. You are so unique. You're so differentiated. So I want to walk you through who you are, Dwayne. I want you to focus on that sacral. I want you to notice that the reason why it is defined is because there's this little line that is connecting this sacral over to that brown triangle, which is called the spleen. Now, the spleen is there for you to keep you healthy and safe. And that little line that's connecting them is why it's defined. This line is called a channel. And this channel is the channel of power, a design of being an archetype. And for you, what that means, Dwayne, is that you are this empowered being that is going to take this correct action that's healthy for you. Now, you'll notice that this is actually a little bit of a complex set of channels or centers going on here, because you'll notice that that spleen is connected up to the G center. The G center is that yellow diamond in the center of the chart. And the G center is about your connections in life, your role in life, direction, identity. And you'll notice that the spleen and the G are connected together from the 57 to the 10. The 57 to the 10 is the channel of perfected form, a design of survival. So what that means for you, Dwayne, is that you really do understand the correct behavior for you that's going to literally keep you safe and healthy. Now, you'll actually notice that there's one more channel attached to this whole complex set of channels. It goes from the yellow G center down to the red sacral again. It goes from the 10 to the 34. And that is known as the channel of exploration, a design of following one's own convictions no matter what. So you are here to explore your convictions, and that is what you're here to use your energy on. So altogether, all of this definition means that you are properly equipped to intuitively know what is safe and healthy for you. Now, there is more colored stuff in your chart or more definition. So I want you to focus on that spleen, that brown triangle on the left, knowing what's healthy for you or not. And you'll notice that there's another channel moving off of it going up to the throat. The throat is that brown square in the center of the chart. The throat is all about focused expression. So this channel in between that's connecting those two centers is the channel of the wavelength, a design of talent. Now, for you, this means that you are a person who is meant to repeat that mastery over and over. You have this design, you are designed with this focused intuition where you know what's healthy for you as you repeat it. And this is actually where you get your efficiency of being that manifesting generator, is through this channel. All right, now there is actually still one more channel left, and it is moving from the G center, which is that yellow diamond, up to the throat, which is that brown square, and it's moving from the 7 to the 31. So this is the channel of the alpha, a design of leadership for good or bad. All right, so what that means for you is that you are this person who is meant to demonstrate your talent over time so that you will gain that influence to become that leader. Now, altogether, you are this person that is here to understand what is correct for you, what is healthy for you, and as you selfishly follow your own convictions, what is correct for you, what is healthy for you, that is how the collective is going to pick up what is logical from you, and that is how it is going to have this shared pattern, and that is where you're going to gain that influence over time. Now, the thing is that a person can easily be enslaved to the not self. The not self, you can see that in the white parts of your chart. So you could easily fall victim to, is another way that I could say it. So you're going to try to force your energy in those white aspects of your chart. Try to think about what you should be doing with your energy. So I want you to focus, Dwayne, down on that square at the bottom of the chart, the white one. This white center, the root center, I actually want to combine it with the top triangle at the very top of the chart. This is your head center. Combined, this is really about feeling pressurized to know, pressurized to hurry up and become. Now, regarding the next center that I'll talk about is the one that is below the head center up on the top of the chart, the upside down triangle that's white. That is called the ajna. You might try to force your conceptualizations into the world, or try to force that you're absolutely certain. Now I want you to also focus on more of the white centers down on the right side of your chart. There's two white triangles. So I want you to focus on the bigger of the two on the very right side. That is the solar plexus, and you might actually find yourself avoiding confrontation and truth as the not self. And in the smallest triangle there, the white triangle that is called the heart center. I do want to let you know that it's not about love. It's about willfulness and commitment. And this is where you might try to force uh, or fall victim to the commitments in your life, or try to force your value out into the world or your control. But altogether, you might be trying to prove that you know, prove that you can control your emotions, and trying to force growth or control in your environment or what will become. And you might be trying to prove that you're absolutely certain about all the answers from the past, the present, and what's in the now. But that's not you, Dwayne. All of this white stuff that's running around, it's going to leave you in a sense of frustration. Now, we actually are going to move on to the four basic essentials of what you need to know in order to begin experimenting with your design or your energy, Dwayne. The four things that you need to know about are type, strategy, authority, and profile. And of those, the most important that we need to talk about is your type. Your type is that you're a manifesting generator, built to be productive, efficient with your work, and to use your energy every single day with this open and enveloping aura, magnetically pulling things towards you in life. Your aura is the most important part of understanding what your type is. Open and enveloping aura. Once again, you can find that in your sacral center, which is in the red part of your chart. The red square. That red square there, the sacral, it really does know when enough's enough, and when you should rest or not. Now, this sacral, again, is a very complex set of centers and channels combined. So, running from the sacral over to the spleen, the channel of power, design of an archetype, and then running from the spleen up to the G center, the yellow diamond, which is channel 57 to the 10, the channel of perfected form, a design of survival, and also the last channel running from the yellow G center down to the red square, which is the sacral, and that's the 10 to the 34, the channel of exploration, a design of following one's own convictions. As said earlier, you are a person who is here to selfishly follow your own convictions because that is what is healthy for you. This is going to be empowering. This is going to be inspiring for the collective. There's nothing that you need to do. There's nothing that you need to force, as your aura is magnetic. When you are using your energy correctly, Dwayne, you will have this sense of satisfaction. And when you're using your energy incorrectly, you will have this sense of frustration. So when you're using your energy correctly, using your energy to follow your own convictions is what is correct for you. And being this empowered being, trying to get to this perfected form is what is correct for you, Dwayne. And following what is healthy for you is what's correct for you. Yes, it may sound selfish, as said before, but that is what is correct for you. Inspirationally, being seen by the collective, by being seen by the people. Because if you are going to force this leadership too soon, it's possibly going to fall on deaf ears or even make you frustrated. Dwayne, you're actually going to try to resist who you are. You're going to try to resist who you are, your manifesting generator self, your aura, by trying to force into the world or trying to initiate into the world what you think you should be doing. I'm going to tell you what that looks like for you. You're going to have this great idea or this great vision, and then you're going to plan and have this forced agenda of what that's going to look like so that you can get somewhere. And then, you do have this attachment to the outcome, and the results will mean something, and they must look a particular way. That is when you are forcing your energy. So how could you see yourself forcing your energy? Well, over in the white solar plexus, the largest triangle on the right, you could be trying to avoid confrontation or truth or the overwhelming experiences of life. by forcing other people's convictions into your life, or frustratingly trying to put other people's power into the world so that you can avoid the confrontation and truth of what it is when you actually do follow your own convictions and truth. Um, so you can actually interrupt this kind of forced behavior, Dwayne. That's where your strategy comes in. You can interrupt this forced behavior with your strategy, and that's wait to respond. Now, waiting doesn't mean disengaging with life. It doesn't mean stopping life or doing nothing. No, it's just this way of being, allowing your true energy to understand what it needs to do at that particular moment. Do you have energy for that? Uh-huh. Do you not have energy for that? Uh-uh. And that's okay. And don't do it. So, waiting to respond, what it actually is doing is interrupting that conditioned behavior that you're used to doing, or that forced behavior that you've been taught to do your whole life. Interrupting this process, it'll allow that true self of allowing that following of your own convictions and allowing what is healthy for you to emerge, and allowing that powerful being who you are to be explored, to be this archetype, to be satisfyingly moving through your convictions. Now, the thing is that, yeah, I've interrupted my forced behavior and I'm waiting. Okay, what then? What if I have these big questions, like something that's gonna impact me for a very long time, or it's just gonna have a very big effect on my life? What happens then? That is when your inner authority comes in, your sacral. So your sacral, yeah, that square, that red square in the center of your chart, your sacral is everything to you, Dwayne. It really is. You need to wait to respond to see if your sacral has enough energy to partake in the events or people, places, things, or experiences in your life. Um, and that sacral to you really, it's these nonverbal sounds. So it's these grunts, these nonverbal sounds like uh-huh or uh-uh. So what could these grunts sound like, these sacral grunts sound like to you when you're making a decision? Well, if you're following your own convictions, no matter what, that will be sound like, uh-huh, I'm gonna do that. Ooh, ah, that sounds great. Yes. Mm-hmm. That's what those guttural sounds are gonna sound like for you. Or maybe you're not feeling it and you're like, uh-uh, ugh, no way. That thing that is in front of me, ugh, it's definitely not for me because it's just gonna make me unhealthy. Uh-uh. That's not for you. And that is your gut speaking to you through these grunts, these nonverbal sounds. And when you're allowing your guttural grunt sounds to move through you, that is really when you'll start to see what is correct for you, exploring your convictions, what is healthy for you, um, what is powerful for you. Your gut, that sacral, is really just going to tell you, uh-huh or uh-uh, what is correct for you or not, what's going to keep you healthy or safe. And as you move through those convictions, as you allow yourself to be healthy, that is how the collective, the people, is going to recognize your inspirational talent, that mastery that you've picked up over time, that logic that you've shown them, that as becoming that leader, your creative role of self is what is really influential. Once again, you're going to try to resist this aspect of you, this uh-huh or uh-uh, by trying to force what you think you should be doing, or putting out into this world what this agenda of what you see should be the results. So I want to actually pair the root center at the very bottom up with the head center with the ajna center. So you're going to try to possibly run around trying to force what you think you should be doing, trying to force that you absolutely know what your growth should be, what you should become, or what your productivity should be, so that you can tell people that you're absolutely certain about what you should know about the answers of the past, present, and future. Um, so, once again, remember, this is not you. You are here to interrupt that process of forced behavior, that conditioned, programmed experience through life, by waiting to respond using that strategy so that you can then see if your inner authority, which is your sacral, if it has enough energy to partake or not. Or these guttural sounds could really be like these pulls or pulls towards something or pushes away from something. It's really going to keep you healthy. So there's no reason for this. You have this magnetic attraction that's just within your aura, this manifesting, generating aura. Now, there is more definition in your chart than just those three complex channels, which I'm actually going to name as one right now. Those channels running from the sacral to the spleen to the G, I'm just going to refer them as one integrated piece because that's what they are. They're all working together. It's very complex. So let's move on to this channel moving from the spleen up to the throat. This is the 48 to the 16, the channel of the wavelength, design of talent. This focused intuition of what's correct for you as you perform your mastery over time. You are this person who does have this talent, this skill, this depth about you. And this is truly how you are going to be that efficient person within your manifesting generator self. Combined with that other channel left over, which is over in the G center, the yellow diamond, running up to the brown square of the throat. The 7 to the 31, this is a channel of the alpha, a design of leadership for good or bad. This is where you are a person who is like this organized cop, or sorry, this traffic cop who just allows this organized flow to happen. You are this person who will be recognized for that type of talent. So that is what you are here to use your energy correctly on and for you to be efficient about. Now you might need to go back and pick up those steps that you missed, but that's okay. That's what it's meant to be, a manifesting generator. But it'll be satisfying, but that's okay. So you, as your person who is here to design to be a leadership for good or bad, you are going to go in depth with your talent as you move through it over time, demonstrating to the collective as you are inspirationally and empoweringly moving through your explorations, your convictions, no matter what, because that is what's going to keep you healthy. This powerful being who you are is going to emerge, this archetype. Once again, you are going to try to resist this aspect of who you are. Maybe you are going to try to, with that tiny little white heart center, you're going to try to force control. What are you going to try to force control over? Well, you're going to possibly try to force control over that channel of the alpha. Maybe you're going to be an alpha long before you have demonstrated that talent. Maybe you're going to try to force the talents that you do have in life, or try to force that skill that you do have in life. Maybe to avoid confrontation or truth, or maybe to prove that you do know the things that you are moving through in life. Once again, this is not you. All of those things that you have this attachment to the outcomes with, all of those things where you really do need to have that thing look in a particular way. Once again, you're open and enveloping aura. There's nothing that you need to initiate. There's nothing that you need to force because, as said before, you have this magnetic aura where you are designed to work, build, be productive, and efficient within those results. And when you're working and using your energy correctly, you will be satisfied. And when you're forcing it, you are going to have this sense of frustration. Now, you are a person really who is here to understand these skills that you have to be this alpha and to be intuitively equipped to understand what's correct for you or not. There's nothing that you need to do other than to interrupt the behavior that has been conditioned into you over your life, and then, which is wait to respond, and then allow your inner authority, your sacral, to tell you if you have enough energy or not to partake with those events that you want to partake in or not. Is it correct for you? Uh-huh. Is it right for you? Ugh, no way. And that's okay. Maybe you don't know and it sounds like, I don't know. And that's okay too. Now, when you allow your energy to work properly, Dwayne, something begins to emerge. So when you allow your type, strategy, and authority to work correctly, your profile actually begins to emerge. This is the last thing that we're talking about regarding the four basic essentials. Your profile is your behavioral costume in the world. So you are a role model hermit. You are a 6-2. Now, as a role model, you are a person who is a visionary. You are a person who really does see over the horizon, and you have seen what has come. You know what's coming. So you really do understand at a very young age what it is that is next. You do embody this triphasic life where you bump into things and you're going to disengage with life and kind of heal and then re-engage in your life really at this time of your life, May of 2022. You're going to start to feel that re-engaging of life. Now, as a hermit, you are a person who is here to really be this natural, and you actually prefer to be alone, away from the drama. And you are this person who is this unaware genius. You just have this something about you that's natural. And it's actually seen by others, and you eventually will be called out by others. So you need to make sure that you're making the correct decisions, because you could be answering the incorrect calls as that role model hermit. Now, you can see the role model within you being that leader, being that alpha, and you could see that hermit within you as you follow your convictions no matter what, as you gain that mastery. Now, regarding the role model, though, this person who is this visionary, it's actually balanced out by the hermit, because as a visionary, you see what's coming next and you need to work on it. So, as the hermit, you prefer to be away from the drama. So, you're going to work on what you see next. You're going to work on your exploration. And you are going to be that hermit, and you're going to follow your convictions no matter what. And then when you're called out, you will be ready. So, this role model hermit, they really do balance one another out for you, Dwayne. So those are the four basic essentials, and what I want to move on to is how your energy really works in a deeper way. Um, Looking at that large contraption of three channels, you will see the sacral to the spleen to the G center. Um, you'll actually notice that all of those channels connecting them in between, that they are red and black in its entirety. So what this means for you, Bob, is that you are well aware that your convictions are the answers to other people's problems as you just move unusually through life. And you're probably going to try to force that. Now, the red aspect of it is you being unaware of the fact that you are a visionary, that as you move through life, it's just going to create these opportunities for you as you move through this life in an unusual way. And you're probably going to try to avoid or create these not self strategies to maybe avoid that aspect of you, because it just like pops out of nowhere. It's like, where did that come from? But this is who you are. There is more definite the definition in your chart as well, moving from the spleen up to the throat, the 48 to the 16. Um, that is both half black and half red, and over from the G center up to the throat, the channel of the alpha, the 7 to the 31, that is fully red. Now, combined, what that means for you is that you are unaware that people see you as this organized leader. Why do they think that I'm this person who can just organize things and like make flow happen? Why do people see me as this influential person who is this leader for good or bad? Or maybe you are just very unaware of the depth that you actually do have. Or you might over identify with the skills or be super expressive of the type of skills that you might need to gather or learn or just put out into the world. So that is really what those channels mean on the deeper level for you. And I actually want to move back to that first set of contraptions of channels where it's moving from the sacral to the spleen to the G center. Those three channels actually have the potential for melancholy. Now, regarding melancholy, what that is like this feeling of hopelessness or feeling of emptiness, and it just flicks on or flicks off. So there's no blame to be had, not on yourself and not the other. It's really just this biochemical feeling that just is. And what could that feel like for you in those particular channels? Well, what's the point of knowing anything anyway? Why would I even bother being this powerful archetype? I'm never going to get there. Why would I even try to perfect my form? Or, why would I even try to explore my own convictions? People want other things from me. That's what it could feel like for you. And once again, there's nothing that you need to do. Now, those white centers inside your chart, it's actually called the single definition. Dwayne, this is where you think you actually are this person. So I'm going to tell you who you think you are, but you're not. You think you're this person who needs to be absolutely certain about questions and answers about the present, past, and future, and about your natural skills. Um, you are this person who thinks that they have to be absolutely certain about what they control in life, about their emotions. Maybe you have put this mask on in life to show people, oh, this is the person that you want. So this is the person that you're going to get. And maybe you are finding yourself avoiding confrontation and truth because life is just overwhelming with experiences. Growth is overwhelming. Progress is overwhelming. uh, Conceptualization could possibly be overwhelming. But this is not you. This is not who you are. You're not supposed to be forcing this aspect of who you are into the world. Remember, you're here to use this magnetic aura of yours. Dwayne, you have this energy that can work and work and work, and when you plateau, you really need to rest. This energy is not about getting results. It's about allowing things to be responded to. Uh-huh or uh-uh. Do I have energy for this or not? I don't know. And that is what is correct for you. So as you allow your energy to work correctly, we said that your profile, the role model Hermit, that is what will emerge. So allowing this visionary self with this triphasic life to be this visionary as you are away from that drama, allowing yourself to work on that mastery until you are called out. Something actually begins to emerge, and that is the first quarter. It actually goes deeper. Sorry, the quarter in which you were born. So this is the quarter of initiation, and you are here and designed, and your purpose is fulfilled to be inspirational. You can see that within you, within those first set of those three channels that are very complex. When you are working on your convictions, no matter what, you are going to be inspirational. You are going to be empowering. And it actually goes even deeper. we know more about you that's going to be revealed. You are born on the left angle cross. Left angle cross means that you have this transpersonal experience in life. You're not really the hero of your own story. You're here to have this transpersonal experience. So, although that three set of channels that we've been talking about, being so selfish and about thyself and moving through what's healthy for you no matter what, that is actually what's going to be transpersonal about your experience, because that is what's inspirational and that's what's empowering to the collective. You have to trust your sacral. It is a mystery to you that or you are going to have this transpersonal experience because the collective is going to pick up on that, the pattern, the shared logic, and that is where that transpersonal experience happens. Now, even deeper it goes, your incarnation cross, and it happens to be that your incarnation cross is the cross of incarnation. So the left angle cross of incarnation. And I'm actually going to read this line for line out of the book. And the left angle cross of incarnation means people with a particular connection to both the past and the future. So people, so that's you and the collective, you and everyone. So you have this connection to the past and the future that can deeply impact your direction when properly aligned to their geometry. So people with a particular connection to both the past and the future who can deeply impact your direction when properly aligned to your geometry. Wow, the only time that you are going to have this deeply impactful experience in your direction is when you're following your geometry. And that is by following your type, strategy, and authority so that your profile can emerge. That is your geometry. So, as this transpersonal person, you are here to have this experience, connection with people of the past, present, and future, because they are going to deeply impact your geometry as you are using your type, strategy, and authority, waiting as you interrupt the programmed behavior, seeing if your sacral has enough energy for it. You are going to be a person who is here to be inspirational. The collective is going to pick up on that. You're going to work on that mastery over and over and over. It's going to be eventually picked up by the collective, and that's how you are going to get on their wavelength. That is how you are going to be transpersonal. That is how those connections are going to be picked up, is through that manifesting, generating aura, allowing yourself to say or and when you're trying to force yourself, you are going to feel frustrated. When you're using your energy correctly, you are going to feel a sense of satisfaction. And what are you going to feel like when you're forcing or trying to initiate your own energy? Where you're going to try to force what you feel that you should be doing regarding progress. You're going to feel frustrated when you try to force your conceptualizations onto the world, or trying to force what you think you should be having the answers for. You're going to find yourself frustrated running around trying to answer questions, you know? You are going to possibly try to force your control over what's going to become in your life, what you're building, what you're progressing, remembering that that's not you. Waiting to respond, interrupting all of that behavioral to see if you have that energy, or pushing or pulling away from it. Is it correct for you or not? I don't know. All right, Dwayne. So that is actually your human design foundational analysis. And what I actually want you to do is to don't trust anything I've said. Listen to this recording over and over and actually go out and experiment with everything using that sacral and watch what comes up. Or Stop trying to force what you think you should be doing and really just allowing your manifesting, generating aura to work and to rest. All right, Dwayne, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to do this, and I really appreciate this opportunity. Have a good one. Thank you.